Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Running a little late, but as long as you show up, that's all that counts, right? So, welcome to the late morning vibe of a coffee show or edition. Um, well, what can I say? What I do know is that the show must go on. I'm starting to notice the where the show is starting to lead to. I'm starting to understand the development in which the show could go, and I'm weighing out my options on that. So, but for the meantime, let's just say the setup of the show will be remaining the same, which is basically going to be, um, vibing out to some dope music that's on a high frequency, or should I say a frequency that the brain definitely should be able to register with. 1 second, I'm sorry. There we go. And let conversations be had and let the truth come out, because I think the thing that we have been led to believe is that the truth is obsolete. There's only two positions: the victimizer or the victim. That's actually a lyric. I'm pretty sure you guys probably don't know where that lyric came from specifically. Um, you guys are probably not into old school hip hop, but the truth is obsolete. There's only two positions: the um, victimizer or the victim. There's no in between. There's no, why things to be. It's just either you're going to believe what has happened, or you're going to believe that what has happened is just, it's sound. And as much as I like to live in a very simplistic world, the truth, it's not that simple. There's so many things that happen. There's so many different endings to things. But the one thing I do know that I can always remain constant on is my contribution to it. You know what I mean? Like, I can always take a look at, well, what was my part in it? What is my truth in it? You know what I mean? Like, and people don't do that. I don't think people take the time to really assess their participation, their part, their their stance on it. It's almost like a lot of people operate outside of themselves. It's like they black out. You know what I mean? They black out, and they don't realize that, you know, whether they're right or wrong, they participated. And so it becomes where, you know, they don't have a truth to it. You know what I mean? They can't really honestly tell you why they did what they did. They can't really tell you why they were there and things like that. You'll hear that. You'll hear that, oh, I don't know. Or, you'll ask someone, hey, why did you do this? It's like, I don't know. Because they were not in the present moment anyway. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take a second to assess what happened. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take a second. I mean, it's a millisecond. It takes a millisecond, the same way it takes your body, or should I say your brain, to send a signal to your body to perform an action. It's the same thing. Your brain sends your body an action. So that means that you are always aware of what you're doing. When you get up to walk, you know what I mean? You're just thinking that no, that's it's trust me, it's not what you think it to be. There is a reason why your brain is properly running to do what it needs to do. Like, it ain't you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, and it's that's the thing that I came to the conclusion was me understanding that bringing back the truth, or should I say having the truth come out, is necessary, because there's a lesson in the truth. There's a lesson that's to be made when someone is telling the truth. It's not for optics, it's not for sympathy or nothing. It's so that way we can learn. It's so that we can learn. And we live in a world where if you tell someone the truth, there's consequences. And that to me makes no type of sense. None. Scientists perform tests to find out the truth in which it is utilized for reasoning, to answer questions, to, spark conversations, to put together, or should I say, put answers to theories and hypotheses. Like, there's a reason why seeing the truth or getting to the truth is necessary. It gives us a lot of information for the future. But when it comes to the truth with the interactions of people and relationships, for some odd reason, the truth doesn't set well. It's better to live a lie. It's better to be not told the errors in which you're way in the error in what you are doing. It's best to keep that a secret, because if you were told the truth, the problem is then you would have to change it, and people don't like change. They like to change their car, their hair, but they do not want to change their attitude, their beliefs, or the way they go about things. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about why being truthful is necessary in life. First, let's do this. Let's look up both the words. Truthful, truthful. If we were to use it as an adjective, telling or expressing the truth, honest. Synonymous words would be sincere, trustworthy, genuine, candid. Another way is characterization by accuracy or realism, true to life. So something that's correct, factual. Truthful means honest or believable. A truthful answer to a question doesn't mince words. It's completely straightforward and accurate. The key word that I get out of truthful is straightforwardness. A lot of people want you to tell them something, but they want you to say it in a way that's digestible. It's digestible. Like, how can I put it? It's like, I appreciate what you're saying to me, but I just don't like the way you said it. So they immediately put a guard up. You could be saying something right, because see, being truthful is synonymous with being honest. But see, here's honesty, free of deceit. If we would use it as an informal adverb, it would be used to persuade someone of truth of something. So being truthful and being honest, they're similar, but there's a true manipulation of both the words. Because being honest is a facet of your character, of your virtue. So if we had to sum it up per se, being truthful is it's a habit that you can form. Being honest is your belief. No matter if it's good, bad, or different, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with myself. But being truthful is something that we'll waver in between, because it's the straightforwardness, because some people just cannot handle the truth. They can't handle that. It's a hard thing to do, because it's almost the awakening of knowing that no one told you the truth in the first place. That's why I think a lot of people can't handle it, because it completely shatters everything. Like I said, honesty is, it's a part of someone's character. We look at some people and say, you know what? he's relatively honest. I really don't have much to say about him, or he's forthright and things like that. But when someone's truthful with you, it don't matter where it comes from. It could be the wino on the corner telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? The it could be someone that you may not respect, but what he's telling you at that time is truth. I'm I'm a person that believes that being truthful is necessary because it keeps your convictions in order. I may not agree with a lot of things, and I may do a lot of things that may not be honest in a lot of people's eyes. But the one thing I try to be is truthful. At least then, if I didn't take in the message, maybe someone else did. Because I'm definitely good for that. My biggest problem is that I shut myself off from the world so much that I think I know what's best. Yes, that's true for me. Meaning I know what's best for me because I've honed that craft. That may not be the best integration. It may not be the best way to integrate with society. Shout out to Strong Tower. Being truthful is important, but conveying it with tact is also important. Exactly. It's a very slippery slope. And it's not even that it's a slippery slope. I tell you what it is. It's a fine art. I talked about the art of conversation. The art of conversation is not just the talking part, it's the listening. And see, when we talk to each other, this is why my show that I'm developing is necessary specifically with women, is because we can't talk to each other. We cannot converse. We cannot listen. We just can't do it. It is something that one, I don't know, I don't want to say it's been necessarily taught, so it's not to do it. But the thing that has been taught is that being honest and being truthful are literally two different things. And so we tackle in between it. We decipher at that moment within seconds, should I be honest or should I be truthful? Again, both words are synonymous. They're you're talking, they're damn near identical. Darn damn near identical. But it's the hardest thing for someone to do both. Because if you're because the here's the thing, like I said, situations will arise where you have to step outside of your moral compass, your characterization, your honest meter, to tell the truth that could, it could break someone. You know what I mean? Like that type of truth that you may have to deliver to someone may cause their world to flip upside down. And if you're an honest person in like, let's just say in the religious fact, right? The religious faction, you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's such a weird thing. And like I said, what I've learned in life is that no matter what, I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to be truthful. I prefer to be truthful, because me gunning or running to be honest or to prove that is me trying to prove my reputation. So, and I'm not doing it. I'm too old for that. But if you come to me and it's of something of that has validity, and you're asking me something, I'm going to tell you the truth, not only from my experience in life, but based off of what you said. Why is my cord getting tangled up? That's like not a thing that should be happening. One second, y'all. Some reason my cord got really tangled up and I don't get why it's not unraveling. There we go. The whole the whole basis of being truthful is to develop an understanding. It is something that it's something that we've lost the ability to do because nobody wants to be themselves anymore. Everybody want to be somebody, but nobody wants to be themselves. Yesterday conversation with that young lady is the reason why I'm here today. When I was her age, I didn't have nobody to be truthful with me. And I'm not talking about men because that is not a man's I feel like, that let's start off with that. It is not a man's position, in my opinion, to instruct a woman on how to maneuver. The same way men tell women, it is not for you to train or teach a man how to be a man. I totally agree with that. But I'm gonna play double standards and say it's the same way. A woman should not go to a man to ask for direction on how she should maneuver as a woman. And women of all caliber and women of all stature, they do it all the time. And that's because, if we're being honest, if you ask a woman to be truthful, it's very hard for her to do. Women create such elaborate fantasies, such elaborate, safe worlds and environments for themselves that it is hard for them to understand the truth if it was before their very face. Being truthful as a woman is is detrimental. If she was to live in her truth, like her immediate truth, I'm talking about like if you were to see a woman in her true form, a lot of it will be detrimental. She would not be able to operate. I give you a case in point. Let me draw a picture for you guys. You have women, or should I say, this is how sad the world we live in. You have women that give false information. You have women that will tell or regurgitate information that they have heard, wrap it up into a bow, and sell it or give it to you guys in a way where they believe that what they're saying is not only going to help you, but it's tried and true and proven. And because we know that women, and this is particularly men, this is a shot at men. I'm just letting you know this now. Because men know that the only thing a woman has is to hold on to a mistruth in order to move ahead, they'll let them do it. Now, men hold each other to a different integrity merit, but they'll let women do it. I don't know if that's a hard thing to do, or should I say, I think men look at it as, listen, you're gonna have to learn the hard way, sis. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But what I do know is that women live in such a delusion that it's almost like men pity them in a way where it's like, all right, I'm just gonna let her have that. Because as long as it keeps her happy. And me as a woman, someone that had lived in la la land, you know what I'm saying? Someone that has done that before. And what I've done was I pulled myself out of it. It was like a fog. I was living in a mind state where one, it wasn't even that I was being not being honest. I was not living in the truth. The truth was there, and I just kept going around it. And therefore, I kept coming back to the same ideals. I kept coming back to the same problems. I kept coming back to the same routine, and that's when it realized. That's when it was a realization of, okay, I'm not living in my truth. That, like, for example, if I didn't have money for something, I don't have money for something. I shouldn't say, okay, well, I don't have the money, but I'm going to ask someone for it. That's not being truthful. You know what I mean? Or having the mindset of, oh, well, it can be done, or I'm going to get it, or I'm going, no, 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 no. That's not the truth. The truth is right now, today, you don't have this. The next question that should come from that is, well, what are you going to do about it? And then you start to assess, okay, well, I could ask for someone for this, or I could do this for that. But then guess what that means? Now you have to explore that option. And sometimes these options are not always sound. Sometimes the things that we come to the clue, it's a part of the actual pattern in which we keep coming back to the same things. Sorry, y'all. Babe is screaming across in his office. It's fine for a woman to be careless, but never men. Facts. You man, you're swinging a double-edged sword. I know, but I feel like I have to do that. Sean Tower, the reason why I am the most hated person in America right now is because I don't pick a side. I'm not picking a side in this. If you're right, you're right. You're wrong, you're wrong. And the unfortunate thing is that, like I said, I'm just basing it off because as a woman, I really want to open up the dialogue for men and women to understand that it's not that it's the conversation, because we can talk about this is one thing we always do. We always talk about what the solutions and things would be. No one applies it, meaning there's no growth. See, who I was in my 20s, if I was to base it off the conversation I had with the young woman yesterday, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. That's why I was really upset. I was upset because I'm looking at a young woman who is using illogic and using the veneer of a man to steal her nerves to move forward in life, and doesn't realize that that will be the absolute disrespect to the fact that she was chosen as to be a woman, that she is trading in her femininity, her emotional stride, the things that make her unique and beautiful. She's trading it in because she don't want to live in her truth now, which is simply, you're 24 years old, man. You still got a lot of growing up to do. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make wrong decisions, and it's okay. But you have to be willing to accept the fact that in the real world, some of the mistakes you make can cost you your life, your livelihood, your reputation, your characterization, everything, your mental stability. And like I said, as women, we don't have anyone that is willing to be truthful with us. There are some honest women out there. There's some honest people out there. There is, but there's not a lot of people that's willing to be truthful and tell you what it is right now at this moment. Because then you would have to assess everything that you held on, and you're gonna have to reassess it. And let me tell you something, that's hard. That's hard for anyone to do. Let's pay some bills. Welcome to the morning vibes over coffee. It's later in the day. My bad, y'all. I was just sitting on the balcony, man, having a good conversation with Sean, who you guys know as Trucker Brown. He's on live right now. If you guys are into the trucking content, go over there, check him out. We also have the um, Hot Mess channel, New Regime Entertainment. Over here, I'm trying to do something different, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I have Ray David. He's a friend to the show. He's coming in. What's going on, Ray David?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Ray.
Okay, I hear you loud and clear there. Way too fly. Obviously, what you've built here is the content and the channel for everybody.
Mm,
I know you're trying to empower people, and it works. No mistake, it works. And if some people can't, accept truth or get it all, you gotta immediately move away from that. You can't babysit people.
yeah,
It's not a waste of time. It's just something you just will never be able to really get to.
yeah,
Um, personally, I wouldn't worry ever about the. You've done enough. You can only do so much.
yeah,
Now, maybe that person would come back in a few months and reassess the situation about what you said or advice you gave. That's possible. But as for people, you can't, you can't really, convince them 100% if you don't really want to listen or apply. So I wouldn't go too deep into worrying about it.
yeah. No, I appreciate that because I think that's a thing that I think that's why women are as cutthroat and they're not, want to go into that because, like I said, that is something that women do naturally. We naturally worry. We're a person that want to develop and nurture things, and so I try to be transparent, and say, listen, I am a woman. I am a woman that is in tune with her femininity. I'm a person that's in tune with her emotions, and I toggle between my logic and my emotions so that way I can have a conversation with both genders. The thing is that I think that what I'm doing is needed because, like I said, we play this role. Women play the role as if they can compete or stand um, toe to toe. And my thing
Sure.
that it's the worst thing to happen because what happens when it comes time for you to be a woman? Because men are always sharpening their craft to be men, but we're not sharpening our craft to be women. And
True, it does
so,
seem that way.
yeah, it's like, men are always tested from the minute they walk out the door as 18, some are younger, until, God calls them home, and whereas women, we cut off the femininity and we train to be like men. And then when it comes time for us to be a woman, you basically have like this 10-year gap, which you have to now do the whole, okay, well, I have to be single again, or okay, I have to redevelop my relationship skills, or I have to, and it's one of those things where I'm trying to showcase to people you can have both. You can have strengthened your conviction, strengthen your voice. You can, understand who you are as a person in the world, but don't disregard or disrespect the very thing that has been selected for you. You are a woman.
Yeah,
So
that is true, way too fly. And your point does come across very, very valid and very true. It's the people taking what you're gonna, dish out and go with that. And
mhm.
and I can see it. I can see people being, uplifted by or the ideas that you come across that you might have or empower them to do better. And I think that's just great on a whole. I mean, you're just starting, obviously. So with the
Yeah.
channel and everything, so people are going to build off of that.
Yeah.
And I think already maybe you don't even know. You've probably already even made some success stories and you don't even know yet.
Wow, that'd be nice to hear one day.
Well, unfortunately, you probably won't. I don't know, but I mean, obviously, you're doing the right thing here. Who else? I'll ask you. What other handful of lady YouTubers or whatever are doing what you're doing? Like, is there a lot out there, or because I don't really see a. I don't know. I don't see a lot personally.
I think what has I think what the thing that happened was, or what I'm noticing is that any woman wants to be accepted, because if we were to cut the camera off, a lot of women are not. So they utilize this platform because it's just easy to receive a lot of praise and a lot of things that they're lacking personally in life. Me, it's the opposite. I am a woman that is told, daily that she's loved. I mean, as you guys can see. And so it's a different dynamic with someone like me, because I'm trying to showcase that, listen, if you work inward, it will show outward. And so that's why it's an inverse thing that's happening with me.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
that's all that is. It's one of those things where it's not even an attack. It's just more so like, you're not following the regiment that most women would do. And it's because it's, to me, wholeheartedly, that's not true. And
Yeah.
the reason why women are not coming to me or don't want to accept that, because that you cannot argue with me with that. If I was saying something that was wrong, that women would fly off the seat of their pants to destroy me. But the reason why they don't, and men are, because men know that what I'm saying could technically set a lot of these women free.
I will ask you, way too fly. Uh, your demographics. What demographics of people in general are you looking at? Are you looking at say women in just North America, in your region, in the eastern part of the United States? Are you willing for worldwide?
I mean, if I had to speak
Who
honestly,
are you focusing on? Right now
I
mainly
think
for your core group.
I wanted to talk to both, because I wanted to be used as a conduit for both. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted, so that way men can have a conversation with me, and that puts the whole, oh, I can have a conversation with women. And then women can have a
Yes.
conversation with me where they're like, okay, well, she's not going to tear me down. She's trying to help. So I'm
There you go.
trying to
Perfect.
toggle, I mean, both parties. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, right now, majority, like 90% of my subscribers are male truckers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, of course, is because I'm aligned with Sean. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to do is use it where, okay, well, if you guys are here to see me, I'm going to talk to you. I'm not trying to alienate the people that are here. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know what? I want to show you that there's many layers and many ways that we can have a conversation and let it flow. And that way it can grow. Meaning, if there was, let's just say if you said, hey, gave this content to your wife or to your, your daughter or something like that, you vetted it, right? You're like, listen,
Yeah, understood.
this girl is solid. You need to listen to her. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to hope, and not just push everyone out, because I could have just like shut the channel down and did just all girly stuff to turn all the men
I've
off.
seen that. I've seen that. That's already
Yeah.
been. That's played out.
Right. And I was like, you know
Anyway,
what?
way too fly. I got to pour myself another coffee here in my
Okay.
famous Trucker Brown mug plug.
Ah, perfect.
And I'm gonna get back and enjoy your content here. I just listening and enjoying.
Ray David, I wouldn't have it any other way. I totally appreciate you more than
All
you'll
right,
ever know.
enjoy your day. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. That's Ray David, everyone. He just a gem, an absolute gem. Um, I appreciate that, Fred Grant. But yeah, like, if I had to be honest, I was going to scrap it, y'all. I was going to say, you know what? I'm going to drive all these men out of here. Like, this was my thought. I'm going to drive all these guys out of here. I'm just do girly stuff. I'm gonna talk about girly stuff like, all right, top 10 Amazon products to get, or okay, like this is how you should shave your legs. And okay, like ladies, let's learn how to put down the landing gear. I was. And then I just had a thing where I said, you know what? All right, cool. That's what I'm gonna do. One, I'm gonna respect the people that do follow me and the people that do show up. And if I can converse with them and talk to them, then what that will do is it will have them say, you know what? Okay, she's cool. Let me go ahead and pass her content off to other people. And so, like I said, like the reason why I choose to be truthful is because I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's listening. I don't know who gives my content out. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so the best thing I can do is not necessarily be myself, but be truthful. Because listen, I'm not a person that says, do what I say and not as I do. I think that's a cop out. I'm a person that says, listen, what do you need from me to help you get down to the next portion of your life? Because like I said, like being honest is just a lost art form. I'm sorry, being truthful is something that is the reason why we have so many different movements and stuff like that, because we have to be truthful. We have to be understanding of as to a person's situation, but we also have to not let it get to the point where that person can be excused of their behavior or be excused of that, because again, they don't know, right? Everyone's bumping and bruising. Everyone's trying to figure things out. And like I said, if you know the answer, if you know how someone can get there unscathed and not through the bullcrap, why wouldn't you give them that information? Why do we have to pay for everything? Why does the game have to be sold and not to? What? That's the funniest thing to me. If people crack me up saying that what is it? The game is to be sold, not told, but then you want everything for free. Or if I am speaking or something like that, you believe that I'm supposed to do it for free and get no, like if I went by your lodge, I'll be on the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make any sense. I could be taking the knowledge and the wisdom that I do have that has been successful for me to move through life, and I could keep it to myself, like most people do anyway. And so, I'm just hoping that, and again, it's not a thing. I'm not that far thinking into it. But what I'm hoping happens is whoever is listening can understand that there's so much more to life than the stuff that we think we got a command on. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people believe that the things they get away with and the things that they're not brought to terms with is them saying, "Oh, I overcame it." And that's, like I said, those are some of the truthful things that, I like to get into. I like to have those conversations about. But I'm going to take Ray David's advice and just I be trying, y'all. I be trying, y'all. I be trying. So listen, let's pay some bills. Listen, make sure you guys are following me on Way2Fly Baby. If you like content like this, support the channel. Cash at me at Way2Fly Baby. You can also hit me on Venmo. I have a Patreon. I have been so negligent with my Patreon people, but let me tell you something. Today, there will be no excuse. I am going to do a Patreon live. I'm going to cook a simple dish. And I'm going to talk to the people and answer questions about anything that they need to know food related. especially for the people that is on the road. I am a former driver, and there's a lot of things that I had came across that was helpful for me, especially by myself in teaming wise, that I think will be great information for you guys. So you guys can hit me up on the Patreon, also at waytoflybaby. I will be going there live later today, probably around about 2 o'clock Pacific Coast. So for my Easterners, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably about 5 o'clock, which would be good because if you guys are sitting and chilling and wanted to make dinner alongside with me, that'll be awesome. That'll be a dope thing to do. Give me 1 second. I actually had a couple of. There we go. All right. Boop. So I'm gonna go ahead and put StreamYard in. Anyone that would like to call in and get the discussion popping, that would be awesome sauce. I have no problem with that. That's another thing I wanted to do. You know, talking or having a conversation with people, the reason why I prefer to do that, because it brings a person to the understanding of that they're not really that mad. They really don't have that much anger as they thought they do. So that's what conversations does. Is it's where it's like, I mean, people. There's a lot of people, like I said, they don't know how to have a conversation. They just don't. You know what I mean? They come in with the, like, say, for example, I'm just using what happened yesterday as an example. You know, they wanted to have a public conversation. They wanted to have a public conversation. And though I made that possible for them, they had, what happened was they had time to think. See, when you get older, you understand the art of picking your battles wisely. And so what I did was, because again, I was 24 myself, I let the steam out the pot. I'm pretty sure that young lady was mad and wanted to give me a piece of her mind 2 days prior. But let me tell you something. Nope. I want you to stew and relax and chill and really think about what exactly your anger would be coming from. Because if your anger is not coming from something that you did that was wrong, that you know was wrong, because you were caught and we called you out on it. And what I mean by call you out on it, we swiftly made a decision to just leave you alone. If you're mad at that, then that means your anger is misplaced. Your anger is misplaced. And when that happens, that's when I feel like it's time to talk. That's when it's time to talk. Oh, 1 second, Sean Tower. 1 second. Make sure. Might have it wrong. Boop, boom. Oops, you know what? I did, Sean Tower. My apologies. Let me change that for you people. Let me change it. There we go. It is. All right, try that, Sean Tower. I think it's two, like, spelled out too. It should be spelled out. So let me do this. I should just put my all links on, to be honest with you guys, because that will actually help you guys out a lot. My all links account. Wait. To fly baby. Yep, it's the number 2. It is the number 2. Or should I say not the number 2, the spelling out of 2. So TWO, fly baby. Another reason why people don't like me being truthful is because a lot of people will compare themselves to you, and they will already assess and think that they're better than you. And so when you are speaking the truth, it falls on deaf ears, falls on deaf ears, and it's because they already have it in their mind. Whatever you have to say is invalid. It's invalid. I'll give you a case in point. I can be in an apartment, a person can be in an apartment, and they will look down at me, even though we're living in the same dwellings. But they'll look down at me is because they think, oh, I'm older than you. And because I've been around the block, there's a reason why I'm here and you suck. Like it could be that simple. It could be that simple. And the reason why, like I said, I try not to go through those, like to go into details or specifics with people is because it takes away from the broad spectrum of things. Cause see, life goes by broad spectrum. The inequalities that we face today is because of the color of your skin. That's a broad spectrum. It's not because you're Pookie or Ray Ray. It's not because you're Cliff Clark. It's not none of that. It's because of the color of your skin, which is a issue that we all have. And so, like I said, when you have people that step out and be truthful, or people that say, you know what, I'm not going to use specifics to be my unit of measure. I'm going to be doing things based off the truth in which it is right now. That sends everyone askew. It just sends off such a blaze. Because, like I said before about a lot of women, and women do this famously, a woman would rather live a lie than to move in her truth. Women will take the truth of other women and use it as their veneer and live a lie. Women will assume a role because she believes she's a better storyteller at it. She believes she's a better face to promote it. She believes, like, it's ridiculousness instead of just living in her truth. And you'll hear a lot of women say, oh, I'm living in my truth, or here's my truth, or listen. And like I said, the morning vibe show, if I had to think about it, it is supposed to be about casual, regular, unspecific conversations. But then would I be living in my truth? Would I be truthful in the content in which I do? Because I ain't gonna hold you. It bothers my soul when I see people come over to where people are conjugating and having a good time and they come over and be disruptive. That instantaneously bothers me. It does. I'm not afraid to admit it, and probably this is a soundbite and the trolls will come by the droves. But the truth of the matter is, I get upset because I care about the people that came over to have a good time. And so it becomes this thing where I'm like, yo, like I have to go into superhero mode and say, you will not harm these people over here that came to get some honest feedback or content. Like it's just like go into this whole transformation. And so that's why I said, with me, I'm trying to, start something that I know would be helpful. But if I had to be truthful, I don't want to do that, man. I just want to talk to y'all about coffee. It's like, I just that's the conundrum of a woman, especially particularly a Black woman, What I want to do and what I'm supposed to do is always tested. I want to frolic in the begonias and, drink coffee and experience different culinary gems and, read a book and feel the breeze on my skin. And that's what I want. But then when tested and I'm put up to bat against, you know, the proverbial haters or the what is it? The indifferences in life, when I walk outside, the fear of knowing that, technically I could just technically someone could just gun me down because of what I said that didn't sit well with them, or you know what I mean, or I could get pulled over and a cop can just instantaneously say, I'm just gonna freaking kill this person. Like it's just like just to have those fears. But knowing that if I speak up and be vocal, that might help someone. Those are the things that, I deal with my truths in. Because I'm going to take the former. I'm going to just be like, listen, I just want to ride in the begonias. Like, that's all I want to do, And so as I sit here, like I said, with this morning vibe show in the beginning stages, I am being fully aware of, what this can be. Fully aware. And I think that's okay. I think that's something, like I said, that's growth. That's the honesty of this show. The honesty of what it can be is not knowing, not coming across as a know-it-all, not coming across as someone that has a down pat. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm a freaking human, man. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to get upset. I'm going to, it's not even that I'm new or nothing like that. It's just more so that's life. And I just rather be truthful in that than anything else. I try to tell people all the time, like, listen, I'm not here to tell you what to do. Like, I'm not, that's not my goal. My goal is just to connect with people that just want a different type of conversation. That's it. That's it. Like some people just don't want to hear about weaves every day. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just, I know I'm a woman, but it's just like some people just don't want to hear that. They want to hear, like other stuff. They want to know how a woman may assess how a man is and things like that from a healthy perspective. I got a friend to the show. I haven't seen my man in a while because all he do is get money and stay out the way. Strong Tower. Where you been?
Oh man, just living, trying to, striving, thriving, surviving, all that kind of good stuff.
Listen, I seen you on IG. I seen your old drone shots. I was like, this man looks like freaking Hugh Hefner over here. I said he just crib
Old dude
dope.
by himself, just
Oh, you're by yourself in that big house?
well, you know what? I'm not buying myself in the house because
Okay.
interestingly, I have a coworker and
Mhm.
his son who lives with me right now.
Okay.
And it's good because when I was going through my issues with my ex, when I my separation and everything, I was living
Yeah.
with him, so it's good to be able to return the favor. And I have a huge house,
Oh,
so got plenty of
wow.
space.
Okay. No,
And
I seen it. I was like, I say, damn. wow. I said, if I was a single woman again, moving right up in there. I said,
And
damn.
then my goddaughter lives with me, and
Mhm.
then my stepson is now just over the past week just moved back in with me. So I'm glad to have him here too. So I actually have a full house again, and it feels really good because
I
it
know.
just it
I
does.
know. That's the one thing. I remember when my grandma was coming to her end, and
Hmm.
I remember we were like at the house or whatever, and she was just sitting there. She fell asleep, and she was doing it consistently. And I one day asked her, I was like, hey, I like woke her up to take her upstairs. She was like, no, 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 no. I love hearing you guys argue, fuss, and fight, and I just love hearing that. I said, really? She was like, yeah. She was like, no, keep cursing. And I was like, no, we shouldn't be cursing out. She was like, listen, I'm almost out of here anyway. So I'm just going to enjoy this. And just
Wow.
having that, especially when it's good energy, like when it's people that you enjoy having
Yeah.
around you, it's the best feeling in the world.
That's what it's about too. That's what it's all about. When I moved back in here, funny story. When I moved back in here, it was just me, and it was just like, no, I ain't go. This is not gonna last long. I'll be selling this pretty quick and getting out of here because it just wasn't the same. And then with all the people in here now, it's great.
Yeah,
So
right. Like,
yeah,
whoo, my money is now working again for me. Like, because I know
yeah,
that I'm, it's funny. The transformation of this channel is amazing because to see people see so many different sides of me come out and still want to talk to me is funny. But I remember, like, us having the conversation of going through separations and divorce, and I remember being, and I don't know if you picked up on it, being very, very I don't want to say mute in it, but there were times where things were said and I would refrain, but at the same time, I would flare up or say something. And
hmm,
I remember even TB was saying, he was like, I know, because it's just a thing that women do. Women don't like to put their business out. It's just
hmm,
a normal thing. And so to hear you guys go through what you were going through, especially when I was going through what I was going through, it was so hard for me to separate it, right? I'm like, yeah, man, like, cause I'm going through a nasty divorce too, man. And it was just so funny to try to
yeah,
keep that. And then I think the lesson I learned from it was I said, it doesn't matter if it's man or women. When we go through things as humans, we should be communicative in that. And that's where I think I'm at today. I'm at today's thing where it's just like, there's no corner of the earth in which people are really going to let you be yourself. So you might as well just be yourself. You might as well just like
yeah.
live.
But you were hitting that nail on the head talking about just truth. And
Mm,
regardless whether it's male or female, but I mean, of course, me being a male, and I've not dated a whole lot, so but
mhm,
I have noticed that there is that what you were talking about, that element of truth that seems to evade so many people,
mhm,
and they feel like they have to go in a different direction for whatever reason, or add or embellish or well, what have you,
mhm.
and that ends up just causing problems down the road. So I was with you with everything you were saying. I was like, yeah, that's and when I was saying you were swinging the double-edged sword, basically, you were telling the truth on all sides. It wasn't like, well, this is just directed at just you or just you or just you. It's just truth. And
Yeah,
that's what truth is. It's not, people talk about their truth. There's just truth.
yeah.
Either you're telling the truth or you're not.
Yeah, it's the thing that separate. That's why I said it's separate from honesty. Because if we were to look at it, truth and honesty should be technically identical. But the reason why they're different is because the honesty is composed or taken in a way where it's someone's characterization. Like, oh, they're just an honest person. Like, I know that person is not going to take it. But then
Yeah.
if you think about it, like when we look at someone like, let's just say Queen Elizabeth, her characterization, she's honest, she's this regal person, but truth be told, she's just as a vigilante and just as a tyrant as, any other person that was in her position, which is to conquer. So it's one of those things, like I said, like, if we were to tell the truth, I would rather just be truthful, because what it does is it keeps people at bay, and it keeps people that harm me away because they know that I'm aware. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
it just makes it where you find your tribe of people way easier because they share your ideals and just being truthful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you don't talk a lot about religion on your channel, but yet and still a lot of these things go hand in hand because, I try to
Mhm.
live my life a certain way. And, it's just always going to work out better for now. Of course, I mean, I used to be really against any kind of lie in any shape, form, or fashion. But
Mhm.
even in the Bible, it talks about there's a couple different situations where someone told a lie, but it was a beneficial for. So, for example, if somebody broke into your house and asked you, "Hey, is there anybody else here in this house?" Are you going to say, "Well, I can't lie, so I'm going to tell them that all my family's downstairs in the safe
Bingo.
room," and you know,
Yeah.
that's one thing, but people try to make that excuse for everything, and it doesn't work that way. So
Yeah.
I was on point with everything you were saying. I was like, yeah, that's how I feel, and I was glad to hear someone just being honest and saying, you know what, sometimes people just, and of course, it was kind of a lot of it was kind of you were talking about women, and it is a good thing that you were talking about this stuff and maybe making somebody think about it. And what the gentleman was saying earlier, you might not know that you've helped somebody, but if somebody can look back later and say, you know what, maybe I need to try to be more honest, first of all, with myself and how I'm living my life and what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and when I deal with people, maybe it will help later on and they can, help them in their life, instead of always
Yeah.
trying to be get over on somebody all the time.
Yeah, no, I mean,
So,
I think, and that's like I said, that's the realization I came to. I didn't realize that um people the expectation I think the expectation of people um I didn't consider that. I didn't consider that now that I'm here, there are expectations I have to follow regardless. And the thing that I was looking at was I was like, man, F that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. Like, you know, because I'm such a, I mean, it's not that I'm not religious or I don't understand it. I just know that it's still a taboo thing to do. You know, I feel like when I'm having a conversation with anybody through any medium, I try to remember that, you know, not everyone feels the same. And I try to speak in broad strokes because
hmm
then, you know, it allows you to at least hear what I have to say. And then later on, as we develop more of a rapport, then we can get into religion and it's not so, oh my God, you don't believe what I believe. So I try to keep things light, you know what I mean? And let it segue into something a little bit more fortifying. But people, like I said, what YouTube is a gift and a curse because it's the ability to connect with a lot of people at the same time. But at the same time, you're dealing with a lot of goddamn personalities and beliefs and stuff.
that's the
I'm
truth.
trying my
And
best to find it.
we are in a day and age where, I mean, if you're surprised by what people believe and don't believe, then you're just gonna be surprised for the rest of your life. I mean, I'm at a point now where, I mean, it doesn't. I won't say it doesn't bother me about other people's belief, but I definitely respect other people's um their what am I losing my train of
Yeah,
thought
like
here?
it's like you, but it's like it's
I
you
respect the
know,
fact that they can believe what they want to believe.
ye-
I don't feel like I have to make anybody believe what I believe.
yeah,
And yeah, so especially like you said on a format like this, when you want to get out some truth, um, if you go real hard in one direction or the other, and like you said, you're gonna probably lessen your chances of getting your message out. And so,
yeah.
yeah, I think you're doing a good job. I really appreciate what I heard today. Even I mean, I don't get a chance to do this very often. I took leave for the rest of the day because I just got tired of working. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm getting ready to go out there in a minute, but
Oh wow, okay. No,
it's
I'm
beautiful out
jealous.
here
I'm
today.
always listen. The reason why I'm not in Utah, believe it or not, is because my ex husband is in Utah, and so
Oh,
yeah, because I was in. So we both went to Utah after we
hmm
were done teaming, and that's when the separation basically happened. And that fucker decided to stay in Utah. And it was during the time we were having such, you know, a visceral, you know, battle. And so I had to
yeah,
forfeit
yeah,
Utah. And so I'm thinking he was going to like go back home, like to Philly,
hmm
where we both are from. And that
yeah.
fucker stayed. So he's enjoying gourmandise. He's enjoying his life. And that was the one thing I am so upset about. I was like, oh, you took my haven, like Salt Lake City downtown. I'm talking about
Oh man,
gourmandise, the different restaurants, DP
yeah.
cheesesteaks. Like I said, you fucking asshole. Like I was like, oh my God, why would you? It was almost like he knew I'm gonna get you. Like, even though me and him been through so much and he's done so much to hurt me, I said the one thing
hmm
that hurts me the most is that you took my fucking coffee shop, you son of a bitch. I was like, Oh, so I'm just trying to recreate a new because I will be there right now.
Well,
Literally.
the one time I've been to Gourmandise was because of you. So just so you know that I have been to
Oh,
Gourmandise
see, I
now.
knew I was helping people. I knew. Listen, when I freaking put up gourmandise, man, that is literally the my most the most watch minutes for my YouTube channel was me.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like the first one, like living in downtown Salt Lake City. And everyone was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yo, what was that croissant place? And I went to that place, and anyone that goes there, they always reach out to me and say, oh my God, I love this place.
Yep.
And the
Yep.
person that I secretly want to leave won't go, which is my fucking ex-husband, man. I fucking hate him. Like, I was like, and people are like, yo, you're so nuts. I was like, I'm
Mhm.
serious. Like, I was like, even he went there and said, damn, this place is good. Like, it's really and it's like the vibe is just always inviting and nice. And I mean that you can get any dessert that you want.
Mhm.
I mean, I hate you, Strong Tower. You are now on the shit list. I'm getting to have freaking
Can't
gourmandise.
win. Can't win. But you know what? I have still now while you're out on your travels,
Yeah.
I need to find me a place that has some awesome peanut butter cookies. And I've asked you for that in the
I
past. I went
know.
there. They There's not many places that make really, really good peanut
I'm
butter cookies.
trying
And they
to
can't be
think.
soft either. They gotta be hard, almost to the point to where they're burnt. So of course that's not gonna be something that the mainstream wants.
Yeah.
But that's how I grew up eating peanut butter cookies, and that's what I've been looking for.
See, the thing that okay, so like what I've been getting into the habit of doing is especially like with me and TB, we would go to a place and try our best to talk to the locals there and ask
Hmm.
them their recommendation instead of us being on this witch hunt. But
Yeah.
like, cause like my biggest thing was because I'm like, we just don't have the time when we were trucking to do it, right? Like we'll go to a place and things, but so the thing that I would definitely say is like, say like, I'm trying to think, what is that? There's a restaurant. They have I know it's called Rye. Rye has a brunch.
RYE.
Yes, RYE. And it's like this Asian fusion space that has a really cool casual take on American cuisine. So if you go there for like brunch and things like that, it's really delicious food. But the
Hmm.
people there, they have they might have changed it, but they had a pastry chef working there. So
Hmm.
when I hear people like, oh, I'm a pastry chef, or I go to the bake, those are the people I'm like, oh, so you know something. Come here.
You know some stuff.
You know some stuff. You know some spots. So I try to find places that have a bakery integrated. So like I said, Gourmandise was good because they did have food, but they had that huge bakery counter.
Hmm.
And to me, with Salt Lake has one of each. So it's like, because if you notice the thing that's really present there is the what are they called? Tonga, the Hawaiian
Yeah.
community. So
Hmm.
that's something where I was
Big
like,
time. Yeah.
big
Hmm.
time, right? So I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm sure one of them, somebody know a good, wholesome, stick to your bone spot, that's local because
Yeah.
Salt Lake City is very corporate. They're trying to make it where it's like this, their rendition of hipster casual thing, but
Yeah.
it's a little
Hmm.
off as far as when you're tasting the food, especially if you're black, because it's like, this needs some seasoning. It was good, but it's just like I don't have enough seasoning. Where's the places
Yeah. They would
with
they
the
would put the
seasoning?
raisins in the potato salad down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing this? It's like beautiful ambiance, nice place to walk. No one bothers you, and no one believes in seasoning. It's
Oh
horrible. Like, oh,
man.
but no, I try. I mean, if I find something like now, I'm in Vegas now, which is technically like food mecca. Like,
I used to live there. Yeah.
oh my, I'm gonna start doing because right now, to my understanding, I know that Texas went 100% mask free. So they let everyone just go in. They're letting business resume as normal. I think
Hmm.
Vegas is probably going to follow suit simply because they just lifted the whole what was it called, reservations thing where you would have to have a reservation to even enter. So
Oh
I'm gonna
wow.
be yeah. So they lifted that. So I'm about to go to all the restaurants to recreate my gourmandise experience. Like I'm going to all the cafes, I'm going to all the brunches. Like I already have I had to make an order or a reservation for the Sterling brunch. It's in Bally's. And that
Okay.
one's like, I think the entry fee is like $150 because celebrities
Mm,
go there. So I'm gonna, if I can get away with it, they said that I have to ask, I have to be on the media press to even do the video there. So
wow.
I got some shit coming for you guys. Like it's about to be because
Go
the
ahead on now.
gourmandise is it's a hurt piece for me. So I have to recreate. It's a hurt piece.
You
So I
ought to
have
be
to
able to find
find it.
something in Vegas like that. You should be able to.
You know what? I have been looking. That's why I've been doing the lives because I'm trying to get the content out. But I have at least like 15, 20 vlogs ready, set to go. And
Hmm.
so I did find a place, but I'm a little haphazard in letting you guys know because I was like, you fuckers are gonna come and take this from me. Like you guys have a vendetta of taking things that I love. I don't like it. So I'm like, should I tell people about this place? And I'm like,
Oh
no,
man.
you learned your lesson. But no, I definitely, if I can find a peanut butter, I mean, even if it's a place that's elsewhere, usually these places they send stuff, but there was a place in Malibu. It's at the Malibu fishing pier. And
Hmm.
all the way at the dock, there's a little place. And so this place has collectibles and like memorabilia, like nostalgic pieces and things like that in it. But around the corner inside of the actual store, they had old school candies. They had like Mary
Mm.
Jane's. They had um peanut chews. I said, that is Philly. What the freak are you guys doing? And it was just like a whole homage. And they did have tins. I'm talking about old school tins of different cookies. If I get the website, I'm gonna send it to you on your IG.
Yeah, let me
It's like
know.
I'm gonna definitely because I already written it down. I'm gonna find Sean Tower some cookies. He's gonna review them and
One
he's
of my
gonna let me
simple
know.
pleasures, just some peanut butter cookies. I'll be good
You
to
might as well
go.
just make them at this point.
I,
You might as well.
that was my thought too. Was I mean I may need to just make some because I had one coworker who his wife used to make them, and it was like I would just hoard them. I would be like, "Hey, y'all want any of these cookies? Because if not, I can take them home and give them to my kids or whatever else." My kids never
Mhm.
seen any of them cookies,
Uh,
so
why did they make it out the car? Daddy,
I
you
got
smell like
problems. I
peanut
got
butter.
flaws too.
We have a friend, King D Raj. He's a heavy like vegan. He always talks about drinking smoothies and being right, but his vice is Cheetos. And so
Hmm.
he'll be on his Instagram lives or his shows and stuff. And his daughter, she's like 2 or 3, and he's always eating the Cheetos in front of her face and teasing her and stuff. And I was like, you are horrible. He was like, listen, she has to do what I say, not what I do. Okay. I like my Cheetos. This is mine. I earned it. I don't care how cute she is. She ain't getting them. So no, I totally get when you have that one
Oh yeah,
thing,
oh
you don't want to
yeah, oh
share it.
yeah. I stay in the car and finish eating it before I go in the house with it. That's it.
It's so
Hey, just
bad.
being real. I ain't gonna
Oh
lie.
my
I'm gonna be real with it.
damn you, you take everything from me. I won't let you have my peanut butter cookies. No,
Uh,
I'm gonna find you
uh,
some. I'm gonna definitely see if I can get some shipped out to you for sure. And then yeah, like I said, one it's if you can't find something, usually what I'll do is like because okay, so I have content that's coming up. I'm recreating all of the Waffle House stuff that me and TB used to have. So last night I literally made the cheesesteak melt. So I use fresh shaved ribeye, red onions that I cooked down in balsamic vinegar, fresh parsley, fresh garlic, Texas toast, like Wonder Bread. Back in the day, Texas toast. I actually toasted the bread in bacon fat, topped it with bacon and freaking cheddar cheese. And let me tell you something. That's why we have a late start today because we really had to sleep.
I'm gonna be
And he
crying
was
because I
like,
miss some
"Oh."
Waffle House.
The neighbors knocked on our door like, "Yo, what the freak are you cooking, man? Can we have some? Are you making plates?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yo, you got to tell me you're making plates." And that's what I've been doing. I just been coming up with
Wow.
different concepts of saying, you know what, if I can't get what I want, and the one thing, like I said, the one thing I can't recreate is the gourmandise, the experience.
Mm.
You know where else you should go to, Chantal? Now that think about it, okay, at the City Square that shopping area. So that's across from the
The
temple.
temple? Oh, City
Yes.
Creek.
City
Yes.
Creek. Okay. So City
Yeah.
Creek has the Nordstrom there.
Okay.
There's a Nordstrom store. If you go there, they have a Nordstrom cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for the lavender latte. They put fresh and dry lavender leaves on top of your latte.
Okay.
And let me tell you
And
something. You may have you if I had to say what it will be like, it will be as if
okay, I'm gonna have to
you're
put that one down.
cheating on gourmandise. That's how sinfully good it is. It will be as if you're not going to feel good about it because it's so delicious, but you're going to have flashbacks of the experience you have with gourmandise, and it's going to challenge you. It's going to be like,
Wow.
oh my god,
Okay.
yeah, lavender latte at the Nordstrom Cafe. It's I can't tell you how many times I spent ridiculous amount of money in that Nordstrom. They should have
Uh-huh.
given me lavender lattes for free, but lavender latte.
All
they,
right,
I
I
mean,
got that. I got that down. So I'm gonna have to check that
let me
out.
know how that is, man. Because like
Yeah.
I said, the thing about a food gym, it's something that we all can agree on, man. When we all find that one place,
Yes.
it's like, oh
Yes.
man, I agree with you on that. But no, I'm not gonna hold you up any further, any longer. Thank you so much. You're always a friend and a brother to the channel. So please,
Appreciate it.
absolutely, always come back as much and as often as you need to. We love having you on the show.
Hey, I appreciate it. Blessings to UNTB. Tell him I said hello.
I will. I will. He's over there. He's over there giving somebody the business. You got to check him out too, because he has a different truth. If you know what I'm. His truths be hitting hard.
Yeah, you don't hold no punches. He's not using that tact in his, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
I
not.
know he's not using the feminine approach that I like to use. I
All
try
right,
to
good
be
talking to you
nice and
though.
I get crazy, but he is crazy and then he'll get nice. I
Straight up.
appreciate you, good brother. Have a good one. Enjoy that Utah weather.
Take care.
Peace. Thank you. That is Strong Tower. Listen, everyone. Oh man. If I had to be honest, listen, make sure you guys are supporting the channel by hitting the Cash App waytwoflybaby with the $ Venmo is way to fly, but the 2 is not a number, it is a word, guys. Also, make sure you guys are hitting me on the Patreon where I will be cooking. I'm putting together content so that way I can just unleash it onto you guys pretty much like that. And have it where you guys can see into, what I got going on, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, listen, if you guys are into hot mess, okay, there's a channel for it. It's called New Regime Entertainment. If you guys like the girly stuff, the philosophical wave, well, a little bit of savvy on it, a little bit of savage, then make sure that you guys are subscribed to me, Way Too Fly. And then if you guys have anything as far as like with your trucking needs and wants and things of that nature, make sure you hit up Trucker Brown because he has pretty much, if he can't answer your question, he knows someone that can. He is not only a bevy of knowledge, but he's also a person that has a lot of connections and resources that he has no problem extending to you guys. So make sure that you guys are getting over there to him. I'm going to put the link. So I can keep doing that. Bingo. So, being honest, being truthful. They say the truth will set you free. To what standards? I don't know what freedom you're trying to get to. But the thing is that I use my truth to separate people that are for me and people that are against me. That's the way I use truth. When I tell someone the truth, especially when it's a person that claims that they are a friend to me or someone that cares about me, I tell them the truth, and that is a unit of measure in which I use to gauge, okay, I told you the truth. What you going to do now? And most people, regardless of how much time they spent with you, regardless of how much experiences they had with you, good, bad, or indifferent, if you tell them the truth and they don't like it, they will get ghost. Because the truth is a conviction. A truth is like a stand. It's a stance. It's like neither party can argue this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is the truth. You know it, I know it. What are we going to do about it? And so, like I said, me being truthful, what that has afforded me is me being around people that value the truth too. And they appreciate that too. And as a person who's maneuvered in life relatively unscathed, I'm relatively unscathed despite of what's being said about me, because what's being said about me is um, untrue or embellished, or it's escalated past. It's I mean, some of the things I hear about me is like, wait, when did that happen? You know what I mean? Like I've heard, I've been told that I've ran away from Philadelphia to hide out in Salt Lake City. I'm like, well, when was the 2-3 years that I did in Arizona? Like I'm like, wait, I ran away from Philadelphia. No, I left Philly to be with my husband at the time in Arizona, where he did his I believe it was damn near 3 years as a correctional officer. I'm like, what happened to that? And then that's when I started to realize, like, oh, the truth is obsolete. It's either you're wrong or they're right, and vice versa. And so that's when again, I look at things like, oh, okay, all right, well, I'm going to flip the script on them. I'm going to speak the truth regardless. And let's see what happens. And a lot of people that claim that they were for me, they fell to the wayside. A lot of people believe that I was to be neutral or to be honest. And women do this to you. Oh, girl, be honest. You've been through this. No, I haven't. If I had to be truthful, no, I haven't. I can empathize with you. I can sympathize with you. But here's the truth, my friend. What you're doing is wrong. And let me explain to you why. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wow, I appreciate that. First of all, can I just let everyone know this beautiful person right here? I mean, shout out to her husband, but listen, this beautiful, I mean, the equivalent of the rose and Beauty and the Beast. This beautiful woman is my best friend. She's my best friend. I said that like Reezy, I said that like we're going steady. Introducing everyone, the love of my life, Reezy Gaston. But no, what she said is true. Being honest and open is brave. It's brave. It's brave. A lot of people are not as brave or courageous as they think they are. I don't know I can live my life out loud like UNCB. Girl, trust me. I just, what I thought? This is what I thought. I thought this is what I really, really thought, guys. Can I be honest? I thought, all right, so I'm with TB, right? He brings me on to the his platform. And I thought it was just going to be like, all right, whatever, he has a girlfriend. I didn't even think it was going to go to this level. And I made a choice. I was like, okay, maybe I could just not say nothing. Right? I could just be like, just taking the heat and taking, the hate and stuff like that, and just be like, whatever, just water off my back. But then I was like, well, what about the people that are with men of position or power or value, and those women don't have a voice? Like those women, there's a lot of women that are in a position of power or be around men in a position of power, and they're not happy. And see, I'm happy. You know what I mean? So it was just like, I think that's what happened. I was just like, wait a minute, there's a lot. I don't get what the hate and all this is coming from, because there's people that are in the same position than I am, and they hate their lives. They hate it, they have to drink themselves throughout the day and take Valium, and pop pills, and they have to shop till they drop and things like that, because they need something to take their mind off the fact that they're here not for the right reasons. They're just like, what I'm saying? They're just here to just be with a man of power. Like I legit got to know Sean You know what I mean? Like again, I put it this way. I was like you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like I was watching too. Like I watched him and seen him and I took a lot of things that he said and applied it to my trucking career. That's for certain. The man's a freaking savant with that. Like what he says you don't have to like him as a person, but what he says about getting money and trucking, absolutely. And if he can't, I think that's what it was. He was a person that was transparent and he lived in his immediate truth. And that's what I could appreciate about him, was that when he get on, TB didn't have the veneer like, I'm not upset. Of course I'm upset. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I'm a man and nothing bothers me. No, we felt his pain. We felt his triumph. We felt his joys. We felt like what I'm saying? He had no problem being truthful. And that's the thing that, I share with him in that. So like when I came aboard and stuff, I was like, okay, well, I'm willing to be truthful and things like that. But then, like I said, as a woman, I get it. We don't have the same leniency and acceptances as men do. You know what I mean? So I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision as to, well, do you be honest, and be honest in a way where people can accept you and, just do that? Or are you truthful and you go to sleep at night? And I was like, I'm going to sleep at night. I'm like, I'm just going to let these hoes know. Like, that's what happened. Like, I just was like, I made a decision, and being truthful, what being truthful this early on is now a part of my character, because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for me to fall or falter from that. And they don't know the wrath of a woman. They don't know that because this is the stand that I am on, this is the stand where I will always be. I mean, the day I switch up sides, you'll read about it. Because again, like I said, I take pride in being a person that says, listen, you may not like what I have to say, but I can guarantee you I'm saving you a world of trouble. A world of trouble. I have admitted, or should I say, I have accepted I'm in a position where I can legitimately help people, especially young women. Because there is no there's no women that is willing to utilize things that will be damaging to their reputation and flip the switch on them and show them how power can be used or misused. I took an ugly rumor or an ugly thing that has happened to me, took the power away and showed you just how insignificant that word means. And I can only hope that people will do the same. I can only hope that people say, damn. Whew. That's brave. That's crazy. Because like I said, nobody on this platform have to agree with me. That's not why I'm doing it. That's not why I do what I do. I do what I do because it's been called upon me to do it. And who am I to directly just disregard what has been asked of me? Trust me, I want to. Trust me, I want to. You don't know how bad I want to talk to you guys about how to cook a gastrique, or how to, cut your potatoes in a way where they evenly are cooking. Like, I mean, it's like that part of me is there, but to be called upon each and every time, because that's what I noticed. I just noticed that every time I cut on this camera, I am challenged. And I said, well, if I look at it as God doesn't give me anything I can't handle, then that means I can handle the challenges. I can handle when a hater comes over here and try to go toe to toe with me. I can do it with my eyes closed. And again, sorry, y'all. And again, when you think about it logically, it's one of those things where I have to live in that truth of that. It's not that I get off and cursing people out or being there. It's that I get upset because there are people that will stop their whole day or change their whole path in life, or they will misstep or think that they're moving wrong just because of what someone said. And that is what gets me upset. That's what gets me tight, like quick. Because through all my experiences in life, I never listened to anyone that told me I couldn't do something. That was never a thing. When someone said, "Oh, you can't do that," I would laugh in their face. Watch. Watch this. And on top of that, you don't get to go on the journey with me. I used to take it a step further. You will see me disappear, come back fortified. And I did that time and time again. That's why, like I said, when things are being said about me, I laugh, because the one thing that remains constant is my character. And that's who you are. That is what shines completely through, not your reputation. Not your reputation, yo. And people, like I said, people will die. People will sell their souls to keep their reputation intact. And all it takes is one little rumor. All it takes is like I said, I will never let someone have me to my knees over something that I did and I was unaware of. At that time, when I made the decisions that I made in life and things like that, I was a child. I was a baby. I didn't know no better. But now that I know better, you can't hold me to that. I paid my dues. I pulled myself up. I came to the realization of my worth. I came to the realization of who I am as a woman. I came to that realization. Can't nobody tell my story better than me. You can't narrate my life. 9 times out of 10, if there's a Lifetime movie about me, I'm going to be playing the Lifetime movie girl. That's going to be me. We don't need to do no casting call. I'm going to be the one to do it. Because like I said, the truth of the matter is I don't really have that. I don't have the traumas. I don't have the, oh, I was smoking crack or my mama did. I don't have none of that. I grew up relatively great. I had a loving household, a loving family. My entry into negativity and into the hood, or whatever the saying would be, is because I was trying to recreate that environment into the real world. That's what happened to me. I came from such a loving and coddling, affectionate family. We didn't have colorism in my family. We were all different colors, but my grandfather always called me beautiful. He never said you're beautiful for a Black girl. He never said that. That never was a thing in the house. You're beautiful, you're kind, you're smart, you're loving. I never heard colorism until I got into the real world. And so if I had to be honest, I was not prepared for the ugly side of the world, because my grandfather had it in his head, I'm going to protect you for the rest of your life. And he did, until, God called him home. And then when my grandma went and other people, left, I was alone. And so now I have to put, the things that I was taught, to be honest, to be forthright, to be a loving woman, things like that. No, it was obsolete in the real world. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being a good woman to the wrong type of people and men. And what eventually happens, women come to a crossroad. Either they say, you know what? I'm never letting this happen to me again. And they completely do away with their femininity and start to think and operate like men. Or you become a woman who says, you know what? I'm going to hold this part of me, keep it sacred. And when the right people or right man comes along, then I would give it. And that's what I did. I was hanging around the raw crowds. I was hanging around people. I always had my conscience. Like I said, I don't do drugs. I don't know how to roll a blunt. I don't know those things. Have I smoked the blunt? Yes. You know what I mean? Have I smoked weed? Yes. But I don't know the blunt. I don't know drugs. Like when I remember y'all one live, whatever, y'all were all talking about drugs and different things. Like, I don't know this shit. You know what I mean? Like y'all was just talking about it, and I shut up. Like, cause at least I was honest and say, I don't freaking know. You know what I mean? So I think if I had to say, I'm different because I don't have the connectivity to people. I just don't. But that's okay, because I'm here to show you there's a different route that you could take. And like I said, the transformation in my life was when I said, you know what? I don't have to be around you fucking negative people. I don't have to be that. I don't need your approval. I don't need that. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be nice to y'all. I'm trying to be with y'all. I'm trying to get along with y'all. But every time you take that as a weakness, you're using it you're trying to tear me down. And I got tired of that. So I said, you know what? I'm out. And when I mean out, it wasn't me leaving where I lived at. It was me just saying, you know what? I'm going to seek places that don't promote this type of behavior. And the first place I went to, believe it or not, was a coffee shop. It was a coffee shop. There was a coffee shop downtown Philadelphia. It had all walks of life walking through there. I've had conversations with men. I'm talking about, we will meet up like at the coffee shop, have a conversation. He go his way, I go mine. There was no talk of getting with each other. There was no talk of sex. It was just healthy conversation about any and everything. It helped me develop me being more well-rounded. Me being able to talk to doctors and lawyers and then turn around, talk to musicians and artists, and then turn around, talk to hippies. And you know what I'm saying? It allowed me to now become a chameleon and be able to be adaptive to any environment. And any man will tell you that is absolutely attractive of a woman. A woman that is well-versed, that can have a conversation about football and understand and be able to follow the game, and then turn around and talk about, something else. Like she's able to weave in and out. Another thing that men like to see is a woman that finds fulfillment in some type of hobby. I'm not talking about just going to the club and drinking or getting dressed up or wearing the latest weaves. They like when a woman says, hey, listen, I'm going to yoga. Or, hey, I have an appointment to go to a book reading. I'm a part of a book club. I macrame on the weekends. I garden on Tuesdays. Because men have hobbies. Men have things that they do. And so what they do there, again, it's just people trying to find their peer. And I use the word peer because you want to walk through life with someone that's not a necessary know-it-all. Like I said, I don't know why women do that. I don't know why women, when we're younger, we're taught to be with an older man simply because of his money. But who the hell want to be with someone that's like a dad? You should do this, you should do that. You should do this, you should do that. You should wear this, you should wear that. Oh my Lord. It's the worst. If anything, a woman should want to be with a guy that's like, he's your shoulder to lean on, I'm his shoulder to lean on. When he has an issue, I'll be there for him. When I have an issue, that's a peer. And like I said, my disconnect and then my reconnection to myself was during the time of me navigating without having people that cared about me and invested in me. And I had to make these decisions on my own. But I held on to what they said because I always wanted to recreate that feeling. I always, and that was a thing that I had a problem with men. Men, don't get me wrong, men have no problem getting along with me. And if we part ways, it's, usually it's on good terms. The issue what was happening is that when I leave, I'm gone. I'm out. I don't cause no friction. Now, there is one person in my life but see, again, like I said, I was learning. I'm not perfect, and I should not be held to that standard. And when people hold me to that standard, I only have 2 words for you. Fuck you. It's just one of those things where I w I see why women that figured it out and men that figured it out, how to be happy, they hold on to it like it's a treasure that they don't want no one to have because it opens up vulnerabilities and it opens up ways for people to try to take it from you and harm you in that. That's why it's hard for me to all the way fully come to this coming to Jesus moment with you guys and to continue to do this with you guys because I cannot stress to you how beautiful a life I have. But what will be apparent is my actions. And see, that's what people are looking. People are looking for a way to disrupt your things, to disrupt what you got going on. It is inherent for them to do. So I'm hoping that out of this, like I said, I don't think that it's necessary for someone to tell me. I mean, it would be nice from time to time, but I understand that it's necessary for me to do this because it would be a shame and it would weigh on my conscience if what information I did have could potentially change the very course of someone's life. That's why I have such a huge respect for Sean because we've seen Sean in so many different facets. And the one that remains the same and constant and steadfast is his ability to help people. Even when he's cursing you out, he's trying to help you. And so this is where we are today with the Morning Vibes Over Coffee show. I'm hoping that this show, what it does is it has us be able to connect no matter what religion, no matter what color, no matter what belief. I'm hoping that it sustains in a way where it's respectable conversation that anyone can listen to the playback on and learn something from it. I have no problem talking about the trials and tribulations, the indiscretions, the uncomfortable things, even in my life and then some, because, like I said, everything I've been through was such a beautiful experience. All the hate, the back and forth, the backlash, that's a beautiful experience because I'm alive to tell it. That's the beauty I see in it. Me going back and forth, me learning how to, do YouTube beefs, really good. You know what I mean? Like it's a beautiful experience because it's information that I can take, put it together in some type of content form, and give it to you guys. So with that being said, guys, we're going to conclude the Morning Vibes Over Coffee show. Listen, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you guys are sharing the content. If you want to support the show of a monetary value, listen, hit the Cash App, $waytwoflybaby, Venmo at waytwoflybaby, or make sure you guys are subscribed to my Patreon. You can find it by waytwoflybaby. Over there, I'm going to be cooking and just doing all the things that I like to do because that's a part of my life too. I have a lot of content that will be gearing up onto the show alongside with the morning coffee vibes. It's going to be vlogs of just me cooking, me experiencing different foods, things like that. Because, like I said, that's a part of my life. Drama is not a part of my life necessarily. It's really just, when I'm addressing the haters. But I want you guys to take a peek into um, how I live and how I live, I protect in a way where I think it's something that anyone can do. I don't think what I'm doing when I cut off the camera is something that no one can do. It's just a complete separation. When I get off of here, I say this is gone. I walk away and I really get into things that satisfy my soul and really have me just assess my day. So hopefully that's what you guys will get out that content. Make sure you guys are subscribed over to New Regina Entertainment. It do get ratchet over there, and I do come over there. That is my venting area. And then anything that you guys need for trucking, make sure you guys check out Sean, aka Trucker Brown, and let him help and guide you in your trucking career. And listen, guys, at the end of the day, it's all content, right? I'm just trying to get a check. No, I fucks with you guys for sure. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please make sure you guys are staying safe on the road. Like I said, share the content, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that way you know when I am doing morning vibes. It is late sometimes. It is earlier some other days, but it's always going to be on time for you guys. All right, guys, you guys stay safe and secure, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.